2-1, flooded. 2-2, ready.
Fire!
Hey everyone, and welcome to the complete guide for Uboat, a title, I forget the developer, indie developer studio. But we're going to cover this one phase at a time, so I will have them bookmarked in the description fields for each piece. We're going to cover crew management. We're going to cover boat upgrades, each station on the boat, both in manual and cutaway view. And hopefully it'll help you answer a lot of questions on what, I don't know, say ventilation versus the pump or the snorkel. We'll go over details on how to target, running silent, some tips on that, using officers. There's a manual way to run silent, but you can also use a captain or an engineer. Actually, it has to be an engineer to manage the hydroplane station. But the studio is deep water. They're actually a really small dev team that Playway found. I'm really liking the work that they've done. They've been pretty aggressive at capturing bugs and making the game playable. This being Friday, they're working on, this is the unstable version of 119, which just fixed quite a few issues with crashing. They're focusing on CTDs. So let's start at the top. So again, you're going to have to have the right crew member. And just to cover that, which we'll get into these little bars so you'll understand them, but it'll tell you you need the right person to talk. So the first thing is the leading officer. This is where you're going to pick up your missions. This is mission assignments. You can also ask for favors. So as you get these influence points, which I've unlocked them all now, you can see there's headquarter influence. I think you start with that. Free roam, which allows you to leave the port without an assignment. And then specialized crew 2 and 3, or 1 and 2. And these also affect the... actually, no, they don't. I'm getting ahead of myself. Recruitment, they did add personalities. So you can manage the crew. Under this feature, you can click on checkboxes, but this is where you actually pick up your sailors, and now they actually have statistics or stats. So like kind of like a profile. So you can click on each of the officers or sailors, and they will tell you a little bit of description on each one, and maybe lead you towards buying one versus another just based on morale. This is the crew assignment. The checks are the ones that I'm taking to sea, and the unchecked are the ones I'm leaving behind. Now, some of these are actually used for research, which we're going to cover here in a short minute. For unlocking research, you need leaders for some, engineers for others, and radio operators. These are their levels. If you notice, this is the individual crew member. I can change any feature of him. I can give him a pipe, eye patches, pipe, you know, whatever you want to do. You've got options and flexibility. You can rename them. We can call this guy Captain Noob. Just kidding. I wouldn't do a Captain Noob. That's just a bad karma. You can change our voice, I believe. No, that's not been implemented yet. As they level up, since he's level 2, you can see you have a specialized skill tree. So I've picked focus on one and a deck gun on the second captain. I have three leader classes that I use. I only take usually 2 to sea, but right now I don't have a second spare engineer. I haven't found one in this save. I do start a new game with each major revision. Bugs tend to carry over from version to version, so just keep that in mind since it's early access. The promote feature still does not work, and apparently I don't think the sailors are getting experience, but the leaders are. The next unlock for that leader, by the way, will come in handy for the next thing we're going to cover before we go to the warehouse, and that's headquarters. So within headquarters, you can actually select a mission. I can't currently do that right now because we'll go back to that. I'll sail to sea. I actually have a research going on right now for the Metrix radio.
What do you need, officer?
Warehouse is straightforward. You can upgrade your ship from here with the research that you unlock. The ventilation system, which will cover all these features. Every single piece of this boat I'm going to cover. And that's it for the crew, by the way, until we get to sea.
Keep playing, or the toilet is yours to clean today.
Yeah, nice little comments. I love that. The ventilation system is for breathing underwater. It cleans the air as you sail. And I'm looking for it here. Cutaway view is kind of hard to find. I'm not sure why it's not showing up. It should be right here. And it's not. I think the door might be blocking. I don't know. Let me back up a little bit. I am on an unstable version, so just keep that in mind because I don't see my compressors lighting up either. Let me, maybe that's why. There, okay, if we select a crew, that always helps. So the diesel compressor and the air compressor or electric compressor are for getting fresh air back into the boat. When you surface and when you submerge and surface, you're going to see that number, the ship buoyancy is going to drop in usable air because you're actually blowing that air out to surface. Workbenches to work with scrap parts. That's actually something you unlock on your engineer. There's the ventilation system. It does make quite a bit of noise. The snorkel will be just on the other side of that. The only thing about the snorkel, it looks like one of those big smokestacks. It's pretty large. It does have quite a big footprint. When you're running diesel, and it does have to be in submerged for that to work, but it will stick straight up, and as soon as I have it unlocked I'll show you. But it'll send smoke up, and enemy planes can find you. When you're underwater, steam comes out. when you're running on electric engines. Now, on any of these, you can actually right-click. Not too many people know about this. I actually just read it in the forums. If you right-click, you can go into whatever mode you want. Blue is silent running. That's any available crew will go to bed. They'll lay down. But that's for silent running. White lights, just like it says. It is backwards. I'm going to see if they've actually fixed that. So I'm sending him right now. Whoever you select is going to go do the job. And we'll switch this boat. He's coming down the tower right now. Taking his sweet time. Got to close those hatches. You can see now the pipe is showing up on Razor. Now, if you look on the morale button, normal lighting, it's adding +10 to morale. So they did fix that. It used to be a negative. It was bringing it down. It was showing up red. So that has been fixed, which is nice. There's the pump. If you get water inside the control room, sometimes that happens if you leave a port open, the hatches, during a storm. You'll actually fill up with water and some of this equipment will be unusable. So you just turn the pump on. Gyro compass is supposedly just a early invention of the compass that the Germans used a lot in World War II. As long as you have somebody on the navigation station, that typically doesn't really have any benefit that I've found, and all it does is make noise, and I typically turn it off. And you can look at noise by hovering over the icon here, the eyeball. This tells you what's causing you to be seen. One, we're surfaced, so that's going to be high, but you can see ventilation is adding a lot of decibels, 96. The compass is 494. Now you know what, or I'm sorry, 94. So that's why I turned that off. It definitely makes a difference underwater. Echo sounder sends a ping. It's a rudimentary location finder. As he turns that off, we'll just move forward. These are the different radio rooms, so you have to be on the right person. How I just reported to devs this was broken. The radio room is just like it sounds. It's for radio. You have to you can send messages from surface. You can also send from periscope depth. Listening room goes to sonar. And if you go into the map mode, you can actually see the sonar when you're submerged. Now when you upgrade, you'll get another feature that actually uses sonar above ground or on the surface, which is kind of nice. So you can actually, if you have 2 radio men on board, you can use both and man both stations. So we'll put him back on the radio. There is several storage compartments, so we'll use him. We'll go over here. As you can see, the rear storage compartment has area here. This is usually where I store the first aid kits, oxygen, helmets, machine guns. There is handguns for that. This is the torpedo launchers if you want to manage that. This just shows you the tubes that are hot. You can manage these manually. If I go into manual mode by double clicking on him, I can actually look at these myself. You can open the storage room. You can move tubes in and out. I don't think you can set them to heat on their own. Yeah, you can warm up. So one of the things you're going to find when you're at sea, they will load priority before they heat. That doesn't always prove efficient when you're in combat, waiting for a tube to heat up, and they decide, oh, I just fired two rounds. I need to load another torpedo. Well, no, I want them to warm them up. So you can actually force them. So just scroll back out. You can get away from him. He'll go do something else. Let's go take a look at one other thing here. So I'm gonna send a captain. Won't let me use it. We'll do that at sea. The depth station is a feature that you can use. If you assign an officer to it, it'll automatically help the 2 sailors at these stations keep their depth. So we'll go ahead and wake him up. Leave your position there, soldier. Or captain, sorry. We'll go take a look at this. They do have a flashlight. You can close hatches inside and out of the boat. But I want to look at that and see if I can actually, in fact, you can see the different cutaways of the rooms. So these are those these are the dive planes. This manages the speed, depth, the angle of the boat. You can sink faster, submerge faster, running this manually. It comes in real handy when you're being attacked by aircraft. These are the ballast tanks for blowing all the air out. There is so in deep, it gives you a description: improved depth keeping, but it also allows you to submerge quite quicker. Navigation, if you don't want to get lost at sea, I wouldn't not have someone at that station. Now it looks like a old bug is back, because sailors aren't supposed to work on those. Seeing if I can see anything I can cover. Morale is pretty simple. There's a storage compartment in here. As long as you keep the galley, that's not gonna work. I have no idea why those parts are in there. I'm gonna move those into here and then move those out. That will cause your crew to starve. Not a good thing. So we're gonna go ahead and transfer those out. That'll fill that up. You can put like 10 of each. I've found like 4 of each will keep morale pretty high. There's difference in exotic versus standard rations that give you even more of a bonus. So we can actually take, those are spare parts for repairing. We can take them to a rear storage. Which I will do now. And here's one of the storage compartments. So we'll just go ahead and, of course it's not in his inventory. It's in his slot. So that's fine, as long as it stays there. Just remember, if both their hands are full, they won't be able to, so if you send someone from the cutaway view and their hands are full, they won't be able to load they won't be able to do functions. Like load food or transfer food. Card table, you can increase the morale a little bit, so you can see they've switched now, they're eating bacon. Alright, these are the diesel engines. They fixed a ton of bugs with this patch. I think you're really gonna like it. The electric engines are back here. You can switch back and forth with electric and diesel above water to save on fuel. I'll talk about that later. Here's the salvage station again. There's your 2 compressors and your torpedo launcher. That's going to cover the rear torpedo storage and tube. Alright, so one nice thing about having 3, oh, and there is a searchlight there too, which is nice, and the visual is here as well. You've got quite a few. You've got the 30 cal machine gun for aircraft, and then the deck gun for small arm fire. It's good for, well, it's not good for a whole lot. I mean, it does what it does. It does some damage to smaller ships, the fast moving ships. But primarily I use it for sinking subs on missions that are abandoned at sea. There's a target site. This is actually for the hydroponics room. This little ring, it spins around. But just to cover a little bit about having multiple officers, I can rotate them in and out on stations. So that leads me to the third point. Each of these are crew members. So if they're brown, having extra people in them serves no purpose. And you can see morale can also... Oh, wrong one. Where's my morale? Am I on the wrong one? It's affected by discipline by being overworked. So if you've got the radio man sleeping, you can actually unassign the extra soldiers. Same thing with him since he's sleeping. Depending on the station, if they're brown, it's useless. They're going to be idle. If it's green, they'll actually still work while you sleep. So you can see I've got 2 crew assigned. To open them, you just basically click on them like that, within each one. You can assign 1 or 2. Map. Each of these, if you hover over them, they'll show you get more fuel efficiency. You also don't get lost at sea with the navigator. Highly important. And with the viewing, you get the 50% aiming speed, which is super nice. Both at the attack periscope or using binoculars if you're doing a night run and you're just attacking a transport on the surface. Radio, having an extra radio man sends messages 20% faster. And the guy that's asleep, why are you not? All right, let's force him. This is our, I want the engineer. There he is, chief engineer. I'm gonna force him to the station.
On duty.
So with having 2 crew on that gives me a 30% fuel usage drop. So you can see there's an advantage of having 2 on those and 2 on the navigation map for full fuel efficiency, which will show up here for fuel and electric consumption. You can also take the mast down by clicking on this. The flag will come down. Haven't really found a use for that yet. It doesn't seem to really affect any visibility. It doesn't even show up under visibility here. And that's really it. So let me go out to sea. We can talk. Well, we didn't cover the warehouse. So this is where you purchase your goods. I don't know what they did with this last hotfix, but there's an awful lot of freaking spare parts. I don't know what happened, but under equipment, there's got all health kits, and so hopefully they'll fix that. But here's your food. So when you're at port, you're still burning up. We're gonna drop those off and get some more of these. They did lower the cost. They said they did. Doesn't look like it. Alright, so I think we're full here. I still need to get those spare parts out of the galley. This is also for ship upgrades.
Take a look.
Well, let's go back. Torpedoes are here. Once you unlock tier 3s, they will start showing up in some of the ports. The stern storage is here, the forward is here, all the tubes are loaded. So I'm pretty much carrying a full haul here. Items, you can find helmets, coffee. Yeah, they're missing the machine gun. I don't know what they did, but they screwed something up. So it is what it is. I don't need 2 diving suits. Fuel, Basically, you just slide that forward and hit the refuel button. It'll refuel. Ammunition is here. Again, they've somehow screwed this up. Everything seems to be HE ammo. Hopefully they'll fix that. Normally you'll find all your different rounds for your gun and your machine gun. And I believe that's it. Alright, so we're ready to go to sea and we can start covering upgrades. So as you start unlocking research, you'll be able to click on each station that's available to you, like the conning tower. As you can see, I need to research it, but it has heavier armor. They're working on a bug with this right now where there's a visibility issue. Hopefully they'll get that fixed this patch. They're actually trying to track it down right now. Radio room. There's all kinds of different features once you start unlocking research points. Same for the listening room. And that seems to have been broken again with this patch, but you were able to add research to that. So again, you're gonna expect bugs in early access. Never expect anything more or less from any type of development. So I'm gonna get out to sea. We're currently on a mission. Let's get out of that mode. Goodbye. All right, so we're gonna go to sector BD, and we need to travel 2,250 miles, and we've also got a mission that came over radio to find a lost ship. It's gonna be a sub. Usually it's an engineer you send out, he'll scuttle the ship, or they'll beg for spare parts. You don't really get any points for doing them, for those particular ones that I've noticed, but they do randomly occur. And it helps burn off time. Go ahead and plot us a course. First, just to get the boat out of the port, we can set you can forward any speed that gets the boat out. Gonna make sure we got all our stations manned. So since we have 2 radio operators, we can actually have 2 going at once. Both the hydroponics and the radio. And we have 3 officers. So I can actually assign this officer. If I hit the tab key, I can go to that particular officer. Who is that? Colner. And we can tell him to cook. He can also man the hydroponics room. But we're gonna send him to cook. Play cards, you can do a deck gun. So pretty much anything you can do from what I just showed you, you can do from here using the tab key. We'll send him to the listening room. Alright, we got both. Or you can rotate him in and out for sleep for efficiency.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Alright, so you can hold the shift key down and you can actually plot out different courses. You saw that in the tutorial if you did it.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Just hold the shift key down and find our sector. Should be right over here. It is. There's the U-boat that we're gonna go either destroy or give parts to. And we'll pick this back up when I get closer. So just a couple quick things I forgot. I want to cover these. Fast mode, you can go into fast travel. It's gonna, when you're in a port, every time you hit a port, it's gonna stop.
We're slowing down.
Another reason we're slowing down is because the engineer went to bed, so we're not getting our bonus on speed. But you can see instead of 2, I've now got only a 1 arrow. If you've been watching that, sometimes you get as much as 3. So it's nice to have both those manned. When you hit the travel mode notification, you can hit that arrow and that actually speeds you up quite a bit. But like I said, every time you hit one of these areas, it's going to stop, which is quite annoying. Especially if you're going to decide to follow the coast. So you can see the time of day up here. It's 1800 hours. Take a look at what we see at sea. Here's the visibility. Water animations are quite nice, especially in rough sea. One thing, if you want to keep the port from, or the observation room from the control room from flooding, is to close that hatch when it's storming. I just turn on the pump because I don't care. Alright, so we're in travel mode. Alright, so as I was traveling, I did hit a
Periscope depth.
transport ship. You can see right now they have spotted me, but they didn't spot me yet. Alright, so we're now completely submerged. Alright, so we're going to set him. Let's use our tab key. We'll get everybody on the right position. Get him on the attack periscope. And we have someone on that. Nobody's picked. Okay, so he's got the target. So now if we click on this, we can click. It's a transport. It is a British. We're going to plot a course. And you'll see the countdown for the accuracy.
Switch to electric motors.
Alright, so now we're completely submerged. So if I click on... Oh, we got... Oh, this is going to be a shooting fest. If I click on him and I hit intercept course, we're going to slow our speed down here just a little bit.
We're slowing down.
We're going to plot a course. So you can see the number. That's the percentage to hit him. And we're going to set
Calculate torpedo course.
both of these soldiers or officers to calculate the course. So you can see the number's going to increase quite a lot faster. And we'll make sure we hit that intercept course again. So they are in visual range. I could actually go in and I could look at them. Once you're close enough to the freighter, you can actually do a camera view. And I can actually get a cutaway view, which is real nice if you saw the open scenario of the torpedoes slamming into the ship. So we're waiting that to get to about 100%, 99. They have broke the reporting. You can give points. Typically, you should be able to, for whatever reason, it's not allowing me to send messages. And it used to, so that is broken. But normally you'd report that. I think you get about 500 on your budget, 500 credits. But just keep that in mind. I can report them when I shoot them and sink them. That should be fixed before the end of this unstable patch. It's been working fine. All right, let's check our tactical. See how we're doing. No one has a visual anymore. Alright, he does. Alright, so we're at 40%.
Calculate torpedo course.
So another bug, even though he doesn't have a visual showing up, I can still use him to factor in the targeting. That's a feature. Here's the weight of the ship. 27... 15 GRT. Some of the boats can be as big as 6,000. I have been able to sink some of those bigger ships with one torpedo, one good hit. I'm really bummed. I want my points. So that number's gonna tick down. We can speed up time even. They did fix the alarm. It's not affecting the crew morale when they go into battle stations, which is nice. It used to not do that. It was really frustrating. I can click on visibility. You can see all the different factors that are going to give my location away. I can also switch my lighting. We can go to silent running, so we'll send Sleepyhead here to the light switch. Where are you at? Right here, we'll right click on that. We're going to go to silent running. Go. We're now blue. Check our target. We're at 72%. Now to bring up the torpedoes, I just click that. I've got 4 hot. We're good there. We're about 5 cables away. That's pretty close.
We're slowing down.
Not sure why he's not showing up. That's got to be another bug. Look at the overall. Oh, we're nowhere near. That's why. So the fact that he's able to target that and assist is kind of a bug. It's not even in a visual range yet.
Faster, faster.
Well, that's not helpful. I thought it might be. During the day, it's really nice. I can actually spot ships and lock them using the mouse button before he even sees them. Let's give him... We could probably speed that up a little bit, huh? Assign one more crew. You can also do this manually. If you want to calculate your own course based on these coordinates, you can do that. I just find it easier to... I'm lazy. It's easier just to do it this way.
Interception course.
And it almost never fails. Now you'll get anything from... One thing that's nice, if you know what you're doing on calculating the course and the range, depth, and settings for torpedoes, you could actually do a more accurate, you'll get less frequent minimal damage hits. So I think it's about 99%. We're gonna fire a couple torpedoes at this. Wish it was later out. Kind of nice to watch it, but a nighttime explosion's pretty cool. So we're at 93. Speed it up a little bit. Four cables. 98. Come on, one more.
Send interceptions.
All right, there we go. So we're gonna flood tube 1 and 2.
1, 2, 2.
You can see the meter counting down.
Tube 1 flooded. Tube 2 ready.
And fire. So if I go to the map mode, I can actually see the torpedoes and the range. Right there. Looks like they're on target.
20 seconds.
Boom. Alright, both are a hit. You can see the damage meter going down pretty fast when that ship's going. Now, once these ships sink, you'll see little crews and little rowboat or plastic boat, lifeboats sailing away, and you can also pluck off cargo. That's how I keep a nice supply of food. Alright, so now that he's going down, let's leave this view and let's go after the next ship. So you're still going to see him on there because he's still sinking. So let's plot a course to the next one. They've already started the countdown. So you can see they're loading here, but we've still two are hot. Where it becomes important is when you got 3 and 4 ships and you're going to do a spread. Alright, so I'm going to pause this. Alright, we're within the appropriate range for the next ship. We'll go ahead and load the 2 tubes. Flood them. 3-tonner. And fire.
Fire.
I'm a little impatient. They have to flood first. We're really close to this boat. I think that was a minimal damage. But probably too early. I think we got him. Yeah. I notice it's not reporting minimal maximum damage. Not sure what's going on with that. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and surface. Where's that ship? Oh, he's up there. No? So there's definitely some visual errors right now because within that cable range we should see him. This isn't marking accurately. That boat's still sinking. Let's go ahead and surface.
All the tanks.
We can plot it. Oh, he's still alive.
Interception course.
Let's finish him off.
1, 2, 3.
Two, three.
Fire!
Bye.
Switch to diesel engines.
There we go. Oh, he's dead now. Alright, so we're surfacing right now. We should be on the surface. And we are. We're gonna head and see if there's any anything to pick up. There's the boat. They got rid of the alarm feature, thank God. I love you, devs. It was a huge morale. You can see the little lifeboats scattering. I don't see any cargo crates. That kind of sucks. I like free loot. Go to forward one. I think we're gonna knock that boat. Get off my ship. Alright, so the last thing I wanted to show you was the compressors. As that boat goes down. And I still can't do the radio. So I'm gonna switch to this guy that's on the hydroponic. We're gonna leave that position. I just want to see if this is a bug I can report while we're on live video. Why not? You know, hey, we're recording. Oh, flashlight. Might be a surface thing, but no, I don't see it coming up. So that's definitely broken. Will be fixed by the end of this patch, no doubt. Not a worry. But we're gonna have to, so one thing you'll notice, you'll see that our compressed air reserves are low. So we're gonna send, wow, no one's sleeping. Send him back here and turn on the diesel. You can see that's his mission. He's running. See the little hand symbol. Alright, so that number will start to climb back up. Manual mode, you can actually control these. Which is kind of nice. So I have two crew here at the radio. I don't know why they're not. So I'm gonna pull him off. Leave that position. We're gonna see if we can fix some bugs here. If I scroll away, he should stay away. Alright, now go to him, leave position. These are just some workarounds that I've done when bugs do get introduced, but I want my credit for that sync.
Tube one, loaded.
Nope, still can't do it. Scanning radio frequencies, but can't report. Alright, so we'll put him back on the radio just for now. Hopefully they fix that. I think it's just a clicking thing. It doesn't seem to register. Although I did accept a mission, so I'm not sure what the problem is there. Hopefully this patch will be out today, 119. It fixed a lot of optimization, very few crashes, but I can't, it's going to be hard to do some of these things until they get that fixed, so I did report it. Go ahead and plot our course to our sub over here, and we'll end the video. We got some propeller noise over there. Huh, I don't see the lost ship. Usually there's an icon. Oh. Oh, we got major. Oh, that's right. I wasn't even there yet.
Set a course to these coordinates.
There we go. So we'll head over there. We'll rescue our sub. But that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully it was helpful with the lighting. I didn't use, when I was diving, I didn't put the officer on the dive planes to show you the quicker dive, but it does work. But feel free to hit me up on the Steam forums. We're pretty active on there. As he warms that tube up, getting ready. Loading. Hopefully you found this helpful. As I upgrade the ship with more and more features, I'll do more videos. Preferably during the day. But appreciate you watching, and hopefully you're enjoying the game. Remember, it is early access, so you gotta expect gonna be bugs. Always gonna be bugs when it comes to early access. I can't stress that enough. But anyway, I hope you guys have a super day, gals, guys. And special thanks to all the people on the Curator site, the website, razorsedgegames.org. I know you guys have tolerated a lot with my wife's dad having cancer. And, it's been pretty hard, and we're getting through it as a family. But, you know, it is what it is. Part of life, getting old. But anyway, happy gaming. Keep up with those indie devs, man. You got to take care of them. All you media content providers doing a great job covering indie games. I would mention that there are quite a few written guides for this game. There's other video content media streamers who have done a really good job of covering all these missions. How to do the patrol up at Portsmouth. It's actually pretty difficult. It's marked as beginner, but it's hardly beginner. It's a freaking hornet's nest. It's right up in the English, English channel. You got to check those out. I just do these, trying to put everything into one video. With each patch and all the new features. So thanks, have a great day, and hopefully everything's well with you. Take care.